Hello and welcome to Dove with Chinwe Kalu. It's good to be here again, and I'm really glad that you're able to be with us. We're going to have another exciting edition of the program today. And today we're talking to the ladies. Are you married or are you single or you're in courtship or in relationship about to get married? Today's program is just for you. We want to give you counsel as to what to do to make sure that you come out with the long end of the stick of marriage. And we have an amazing woman in the house to talk about this with us today. She's a lawyer. She's the managing director of a real estate firm. She's a wife and a mother of 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. And she's a lover of women. That's what I really know about her, that she loves the woman and that she wants the best life that a woman can have. Bisi Adebayo is a good friend, a sister, and someone I love very much. But above all, she's a lover of women. Bisi, welcome to the program.
Thank you so very much.
It's good to we've had an engaging afternoon, but we're here, so it's good to be here. Thank you so much for coming. Great. Now, Bisi started this new movement recently called WAGS. She's going to tell us about it, and it really addresses the issues we're going to be talking about today. What is WAGS all about?
Wow. Thanks a million again, CK. It's really good to be here. A lot of people have been asking me that same question. What's WAGS all about? And it's not surprising because out there, WAGS is supposed to mean wives and girlfriends of celebrities.
Yes, that's true.
And they're like, so what has this got to do with us? And I say to them, we are the real WAGS, really. Come to think of it, we are the real wives and girlfriends. We're women working hard, doing all that is expected of us, keeping our home, building our homes, building our children, and, balancing it all with being good handmaidens of the Lord. So really, if you're going to talk about celebrities, I think we should be the ones. So that's partly what WAGS is all about. But then again, WAGS is actually an acronym for Wives Alert Gisting Sessions.
Wow, Wives Alert Gisting
Sessions. And that was born out of a desire within me, and which I believe God gave a go-ahead for me to go and institutionalize. And that passion is a desire to create for the women interactions, practical information that would help them as they journey through life, especially in the area of marriage. Many times women just suffer in silence. There's so much by way of societal expectations, cultural expectations, even religious expectations. And many times women just shoulder through, trudging under the weight of these responsibilities. And many times there's really nobody to talk to. And I just felt that as sisters, we should be able to share experience, to lend a shoulder for someone else, to lie on. And WAGS is just a platform for that. There are different platforms of expression. We have the blog, thewivesalert.com. We have the gisting sessions, which are the physical meetings that we have. I call them small, intimate sessions where we're able to bear our hearts out, or we're able to talk about crucial issues
as they affect us,
and offer practical solutions. Emphasis being on the word practical. They're not preaching sessions. They're just experience sharing sessions at which, those who come end up saying it's therapeutic, and that they live with a new zest of life, knowing they can also make an impact, positive impact in their homes and eventually in the society at large.
Wow. I mean, I'm just imagining what a typical session will be like when women
it's always amazing.
There'll be a number of tears, a lot of laughing, a lot of up and down times,
So what we do, I call them safe sessions. We don't record.
So
that way we're able to just express ourselves. And then, of course, we have the online session, born out of the desire of those who are not able to make the physical sessions due to time constraints, geographical locations. So we started out the WAGS Unlimited, and that's an online gist platform. 24/7.
Anything can come up
Ask
there.
your questions, ask for advice, share experience, and just learn and we say we're working it together.
Wow. So today, Dove Eyes is waxing.
Oh, yes.
All right, and I have her in the house. She's a very busy woman. So to get her in the house today, we're going to ask all our questions. I'm going to start because I believe that marriage really starts from before the woman gets into marriage. A lot of girls like the idea of getting married, but are really not properly, informed as to what should be the priority to a young girl who is not yet getting married, but, is living her life, there are different priorities and differences in a woman's life. There's a time when you're not yet ready for marriage. There's a time you're ready for marriage. At the time, for instance, a girl just gets into university, what should be her priority?
It depends. I mean, for a girl that is on the university, for instance, okay, yes, her academics.
Yes, should be her priority.
But many times we make the mistake of thinking that life should be lived in isolation. I say it's a mix of so many things put together. At every point in time, you can't afford to focus on just one thing to the detriment of others. So usually I try to tell the young ladies, get your rhythm right. Give priority to your education. Get an education. There's no reason whatsoever for any lady out there to be without one. It may not be formal, but there's always something that you can do, that you can learn to make your way through life. Get a skill. If you don't have, or even if you have an education, make sure there's something you're doing. A woman is an asset.
Yes.
Any day.
Any day.
And I've realized again that even when you get into a marriage and you're not bringing anything to the table, there's a way it affects the balance.
Yes, it affects the balance.
It affects the balance. I mean, it's so necessary for a woman to have something that she's bringing to the table. I also like to say to them, find your shine. Many times we just assume that we're up there on the shelf and a made man, that's what we're doing of these days, a made man will find us one day and then we say, I get married and I settle down. I mean, like life stops at that instance. But I like to say to the young woman out there, find yourself. Find yourself before thinking of someone finding you. Know yourself. Who are you? What is your mission? What is your assignment?
Yes.
What is your purpose?
What are you here for?
What are you here for? Contribute your quota. Get busy.
Yes.
Don't wait, sitting pretty, idle, waiting to be found. You're most likely going to be found by another idle.
Play about. Let's just say the way
guy who's also just looking for a girl to lay. Yes. So get busy.
Yes.
Understand yourself.
Yes.
Contribute your quota.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, you find out that I also want to add that many times ladies were like precious stones. And many times the precious stones we find glittering in the shops, looking so nice with expensive price tags, were not always so.
Yes.
Many times, in fact, in all cases, they were mined.
Yes.
They were brought out from murky, muddy waters. And they went through a process through which their shine was brought to the fore. Their beauty was brought to the fore. And at times those processes are not pleasant. At all. At times they went through heat. At times they went through polishing, which is like
abrasive.
Thank you. So we will go through stuff. The average young lady should be ready to go through some measure of discomfort to find her shine. So you will study. You will serve other people. You will toil in one area or the other. And while you are doing that, your shine is coming to the fore. And then maybe somebody, hopefully, somebody with a good head on his shoulders will notice that you are an asset and will come for you. And that's why the Bible says it that finds a wife, finds a good thing. When you make yourself a good thing, You don't become a good thing
Just
automatically.
yes, you don't become a good thing just because you were born a girl.
Just because you are there, sitting pretty and smiling nicely.
Talking about the young man who will see, what should a young lady be looking out for? These days, it looks like people are walking down the aisle and walking back out of the aisle at the drop of a hat. What really should a young woman be looking out for?
In marriage.
In a young man.
In a young man. I'll say again, it depends on her.
Yes.
Who is she? What are her dreams?
Yes.
Her aspirations? What does she desire? What are the things she sees in guys around that makes her feel like this is somebody
That is
I would
special.
like to spend the rest of my life with? The average lady out there needs to go for substance and not frivolities.
Yes.
And many times around our environment now, if you ask a lady what kind of a man do you want to marry, she's likely going to tell you, I want him tall,
Dark.
handsome,
And rich.
rich. And then just so that she doesn't appear too vain, she says, he should also have the fear of God.
A rich one who has the fear of God.
You know, they quickly add that. He should also have the fear of God. But I think the important things are vision.
Yes.
Who is he?
Who is he?
What is his vision?
Where is he going?
It's not always a question of where he is now. Because he's on a journey too.
Yes.
So where is he going? What can you see about him? What are his ideologies? What is his philosophy? Who is he? And then, is he a God lover? Is he someone that would hear God one day and refuse to do maybe what the flesh is suggesting to him, or what his contemporaries out there are doing? So it's for the lady to settle and decide within herself, this is the type of person I believe deserves me. And then to be smart and strategic enough to recognize that person when he comes, and not get carried away by the fact that, oh, the car isn't there yet, or the car is there and there's no AC in it, or the grammar isn't Queen's English.
Like it's supposed to be.
A lot of those things can change.
They do change. And that's what a lot of young women don't understand, that they can change. And, you know, especially if you work with God, they can change. And so we really appreciate your line of thought. But I'm asking myself, when couples get married, it appears that they are not really ready for where they are going. Do you understand? I think there's supposed to be a level of preparation between a guy and a girl who are about to get married. What would amount to preparation? I mean, everybody's talking about the wedding. They get, you know, that day you spend, you borrow, you spend, you work hard, you look for the money, you go to the village, settle the villagers, and then come back, and then you want to have this grand thing.
A showstopper.
But you know, the whole thing ends that night, and then the real thing takes off the next morning. How prepared can people be, and what do they need to do to be prepared for where they're going?
Thank you. I've heard it being said over and over again that marriage is one institution where, you know, you walk in, you get your certificate without sitting for an exam. I mean, you don't go for any training. You're starting out, yet you are certified.
Yes, already.
You have a certificate saying you are Mrs. and you're Mr. And it's also sad that around here we're not deliberate about preparing for life. And part of life is, in fact, a major part of life is marriage. There should be preparation for marriage. There should be premarital counseling sessions. And they're not just those sessions where you have the matronly women in the church, you know, sit down and dole out some wisdom. I'm not discountenancing those, but we need to be much more practical in our approach to premarital counseling. What goes on when these young ones go through courtship? what do they talk about?
That's the thing.
They just go movie watching, picnicking,
Yes.
and what do they talk about? Life issues?
Yes.
Do they discuss their vision?
Yes.
Do they discuss their dreams and their expectations? Do they discuss their likes and their dislikes? Do they get to meet their family members? Do you understand? Do you even, are you deliberate about understanding the family you are going into?
The dynamics of the family
Do
you're
you
getting into.
discuss about your dreams for the future, your career? Do you discuss about the number of children you want to have, the type of home you want to have? There's so much.
They talk
that
about
people
everything else, but
leave
those
out
things, yes.
these days. And so they get into the marriage, and it's like the man or the woman is wondering, who is the stranger
Yes.
that I'm living with? And I've realized that many times during courtship, the things people complain about when eventually they get married and they have issues are things that must have started cropping up while they were
Dating
courting,
and yes.
when they were dating. But they never took notice. They just assumed he will change. Oh, she will change. I will change her. I will change him. And then they get married and they become major issues.
Yes.
So it's important that the churches, family members, there are counselors, paid counselors. We are ready to pay for their Ashwebi. Nobody is thinking of paying for them to go through proper premarital counseling sessions, and they don't cost a fortune.
They don't.
We need to be much more deliberate than we've been in the past
About preparing people for this
for the
institution.
marriage and not just the
wedding. Interesting. Now we are far running out of time, but I'd like to ask one question before we go. At what point, marriages can be bad. I mean, sometimes you get in, you find that it's gone wrong. At what point should a woman say, it's okay, let's go? You don't have to answer it.
I will, because I mean, it's a reality, and it's becoming very rampant these days that people get married 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, they start singing a new song. It's called Irreconcilable
Differences.
That's the demon that is chasing marriages all around. And yes, I know that some differences are irreconcilable. And I make bold to say that when a woman's life is in
threatened,
danger, when she's threatened, it's time for her to decide to walk away. It may not be permanent walking away. It may be something supervised. But then if her life is in danger, she needs to take a break. She needs to get out of that space. And then whatever interventions by family, by the church, by concerned friends, can be going on
while she's out
of danger. But then again, there's one aspect of it we often overlook. When a woman when there's abuse, when there's physical abuse, she should run for dear life. But what of emotional abuse?
That comes up a lot these days.
And it's so rampant these days to when the woman has been torn into shreds.
Yes, in her emotions, in her mind.
She's in depression. She has no feeling of there's nothing called self-esteem anymore. I spoke to a lady recently who said, my heart skips beats. I hate to go home.
Wow.
So you find many that are laboring under the weight of emotional abuse.
Wow.
What do we tell such women? So I also believe that when the emotional abuse is such that you are losing yourself and you can't seem to reason, it's also good
to separate yourself a little.
And
I mean, I had someone saying to his wife recently, I've mourned you, because he wanted out. And I said to her, you should stop listening to him, stop hearing those things from him.
And people like that will need a lot of affirmation.
Yes.
They need to know who they are. They need to realize that they shouldn't be defined by those negative things that have been spoken into their lives. So they need to say the right things to themselves. I'm the beloved of the Lord. Jesus loved me enough to die for me. Somebody already died for me anyway, so I'm good enough. They need to be able to
affirming themselves. So sometimes they need other people to also say these things to them.
Help them through that process. They may even need to go through therapy.
Yes. Bisi, we could stay here forever. We've been talking since, and it's like we could really go on and on. But I just want to thank you so much for being able to come onto the show. Your counsel is wise counsel, and I believe that there's some woman out there who has heard you and can run with some of the things that we have said today. Now, Bisi is WAGS, and WAGS has the blog. WAGS has the Unlimited on Facebook. WAGS also has the sessions that you can attend, and it's all online, right? I mean, it's all online, so you can get in touch with her, through her online platforms. And I'm sure that if you need any counsel, she'll be glad to give it to you. Bisi, thank you so much for coming on Dova Is With
Pleasure. Thank you.
Nice to have you. We've been planning it forever.
I'm glad we finally
did it. Yes. Time is never on our side, and I always say that every good thing must come to an end. You have been watching Dova Is With Chinwe, and we've been talking to the young lady about preparing herself for marriage, knowing what to do and knowing what is important. What are your priorities? What are the things that really matter as you plan to get married and do get married? And what are those things that when they happen to you, you know that it's time to just take a break and, take a rethink and try to work things out from a distance? Those are the things we've been talking about on the show today. And I'm sure that if you're out there and any of these things are your concerns, you've gotten enough wisdom to make some pertinent decisions. So I believe that you have been blessed. We have been blessed talking about it as well. Bisi, thank you once again very much for coming.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. It's good to know that you're out there. And just remember that marriage is a beautiful thing. If we do it right, it will be a blessing. You will be smiling all the way. In fact, statistics show that happily married women live longer. So it's a good thing. It's been abused. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. So please, let's just do it right, okay? Until I come my way again next week, thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.